Sorry, I'm just being like that tonight. It's not a case today. Look, it was lovely to watch, but I'm just thinking, youth is wasted on the young. It really is. But
it's true. Things like that happen.
What morons.
But it happens like that. And do you know what surprised me?
Yep. I've forgotten how to be young.
Is the fact that she waited the 5 years it took him to get out. Because I remember it was, 20 years with 5 years probation. And so she was actually there when he got out. And I thought, wow, that's commitment.
And he must have put some money aside because that was not an inexpensive car they were waiting with.
Well, I don't know how that worked because he had the money on him when shit went down. So
possibly she went and stole all the money from the old deaf father.
I don't know.
Because the guy had how many? Literally, he had hundreds of thousands of dollars.
What was the car that? Yeah, but that wasn't his father, so you know.
No, he stuffed it all in his jacket. Maybe she went back and knocked the old fella on the head.
Anyway, we don't know.
Well, it's not like he's going to hear her coming.
Boom, boom. Thanks.
That's all good.
But so you weren't happy with the youth love.
Oh, no, that
it was a trigger.
You're twisting my words.
I'm sorry.
Again.
Can you make it really clear for me?
Is it? Yeah, it's yes. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a vicious and evil, maniacal glint in my fellow team member's face here.
Your colleague.
Yes.
So make it clear for me.
I said I'm not going to talk anymore about that particular thing. I might discuss it afterwards, but not on air.
Okay.
No. Maybe another day when I get to know the audience better.
Okay. When we're having a better relationship, we'll talk.
Yes.
I can't see you and you don't talk to me, but I know you're listening.
Do you want me to go through it?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But anything else?
I would have been horrified if you said, yes, I do, Paul.
No, because I could see the beads of sweat rolling down your forehead, and I thought, no, I won't do that to you. You wouldn't do it to me.
Yeah, I would.
Well, hang on, you would. Yeah. Anything else about the film?
Again, I like the soundtrack as well. And look, I heard some new tunes that were quite boppy and everything that I'd not heard before.
I hadn't heard the Egyptian reggae.
I hadn't heard it in 3/4 of it.
And I thought that was really funky.
Yeah, but you know me, I tend to lounge in the 19th century when it comes to music.
You know.
Yeah, it's what I do. But
you recognise the song Charlie sung before?
Vaguely. I was making a wild stab in the dark.
Is that because you don't know the song, or is it because you couldn't understand what she was singing?
Oh, well, it's not exactly. We're not talking pitch perfect here, are we?
She doesn't do too bad.
She's not bad. Not bad.
So great sound.
Yep.
It was fast paced. There wasn't any slow parts, I thought. I didn't mind the storyline. You found parts of it trigger. So
not trigger, but it was kind of. I knew where the film was going because it's a bit of a tired old hack in that respect. It is they're trying to break out of the whole cycle of crime and everything like that, and they're young couple in love, and everybody's trying to threaten them all, and all of his loved ones.
I like the spins that they put on it, though. The separate little
you know that they're going to get out in the end. You know what I'm saying? You know they're going to get out.
Yeah, but you don't know how.
No, you don't, and that's what you're waiting for. Now, if I was the director of the movie, I'd run it exactly like that, and then the girl who gets shot in the head just at the end.
Nobody would watch it then, Paul.
Yeah, but I mean, people would talk about it. I'm waiting for you. Sorry.
And that's why you're not a film director.
Yes, and scene.
So how many stars would you give it, Paul?
Ooh. Well, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the stunts were... The driving cinematography and the driving choreography was second to none.
It was very good.
If you want to see a film with excellent driving stunts and all very well choreographed, like some of that stuff, when he flicked the spike strip and it caught the copper.
That was good.
I just went, I don't care if it's complete bullshit, but I like the concept of him being able to pull that crap off, you know.
It was shot very well, as in it looked great.
Yes. So all of that stuff, like on the action side of it, absolutely ticked the box. I thought it was well paced. The bad guy, the one bad guy.
What do you mean by one
Now,
bad
can we
guy?
discuss bad guys for a second? Because we have a problematic bad guy in this movie.
No. What I found was weird is that who you thought was bad, the bad guy, then changed to another person, but then it changed to another person.
Yes.
And that's what I mean. To me, kept changing as to who you're actually going, oh, that's the bad guy. No, that's the bad guy. How did I not know he was the bad guy?
They're all bad guys.
No, but you know what I mean, as in
I do.
bad guy.
Yes. The main antagonist.
Yes.
But let's be clear. I mean, it's a bit like Inglourious Bastards, and they're all a bit of a bastard. Even he, the young bloke, does
towards the end where
stuff.
he's going, well, that's it. I'm out for me now.
And he just caps him fair in the head, you know. So, you know, like this is...
Well, that's what I'm saying, as in he's going, well, you know, I'm in the right. I should be able to protect myself, and Deborah, bang. So that's what I mean about, you know, is stealing the bread right or wrong sort of thing.
Who was your best performance in that?
I actually thought Ansel Elgort was the main guy, baby. I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah, I thought he did quite a good job.
Who was your favourite?
Well, I think you know who my favourite is.
No, I don't.
The guy everybody hates at the moment.
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah. Everything he does. Like, I was really disappointed. Like, I was watching... what's that political show where he's the president? I was thoroughly enjoying that. And
House of Lies?
House of Cards, I believe it is.
Oh, sorry, I can never remember.
I was really enjoying that. And then all this kerfuffle came out about him being a bit of a sexual... I didn't get the exact details of it, so I wouldn't want to tread too heavily here. But
I'm aware of it. I haven't been following it.
Yes. Oh, well, I'm in the same boat, so I'm trying to be careful here. But I was disappointed, and then he got pulled, and whether or not that was the right thing or whether or not that was the wrong thing, I was unhappy that he's suddenly been pulled out of because I think he's a superb actor, irrespective of what the guy's done.
Even if you're superb, though, that doesn't excuse... So the problem is, I'm not sure if it's true or not, so I can't say, but obviously while it's all being sorted... You need
from
to have
my own personal needs, for me, it's all about me, Pip. You know, but I was disappointed that he's been pulled out of my acting. What's the word? Of actors, the repertoire of actors that I've got available to me going into the future.
Yeah,
you know. Oh, look, he might have a comeback. That's. Not C.S. Lewis. There's a comedian who also...
C.S. Lewis is an author.
No, there's a...
Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe.
C.K. Lewis, I think his name is. He's a comedian. And like he served a term of penance of like 18 months, and then he came back and started doing a show, and everybody was clapping and cheering like nothing had happened. You know, he was one of the first ones to fall for the Me Too movement, because apparently the guy was doing some pretty heinous things. Just utilising his power and all the usual stuff that people in that position sometimes get caught up in.
Well, then you have to question whether the whole, what's the word, where they say, oh, jail actually does the right thing and teaches these people about it. No,
he wasn't even in jail. He'd just been, like Kevin Spacey, I don't know if has he been in jail?
I haven't been following it.
No, this is it. I think their careers just ground to a very sudden halt.
But a lot of this...
that nobody would touch them. Because House of Cards, immediately he was pulled from it, and then he was just written out of the show. And then I can't remember her name, but she was the lead female in it. She kind of took over from there. And I hope it's done well since, but I was watching that just to watch him sort of thing, so I tend to switch off.
It's hard because you don't want to say that you are okay with this. You want to condone this sort of behaviour, so therefore you don't want to support that sort of thing.
I'm just being honest and saying...
Oh, no, I get that. And I can see why that they would not do it, though.
Yep.
I mean...
Oh, look, that's a moral
And there's no reason
question.
why people can't... I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr. Nobody would touch him.
No.
And then he cleaned up his act.
Yes.
I mean, you know, has said, I'm not going to do this anymore because I am serious about this, and then he became Iron Man. But that's the thing. As long as these people are educated and are saying, well, hang on, I did do the wrong thing. Does that mean once someone's done something wrong, they're completely should be whitewashed and not be allowed back into society ever again.
Well, I guess
so
it comes down to what they're prepared to do to make amends. I guess
that's the thing.
I feel anyway. So if he hasn't done anything, and this is what the CK Lewis, he hadn't really done anything, and he came back with just doing the old standard shtick sort of thing, and everybody's clapping and cheering, and there's a lot of people who've just gone, yeah, hello, but this is Hollywood, and it can be a fickle beast.
Well, I guess it depends on how he's acting now, because I mean, it's
a twirly knot.
I mean, if he was still going, oh well, I'm going to continue with this behaviour, then
Yep.
that's different.
Yep.
But it,
better he didn't do anything in the first place.
Oh, but I mean, things happen.
Yep.
I don't know about you. I don't have a clean slate.
No.
And I hope that any mistakes I made in my youth don't get dragged through.
Yeah, but you do not have the same level, and I'm going to use this word. You don't have the same level of privilege as what he did, and that's part of the crime. In that, he is abusing his privilege, and it is that self-same privilege which allows these people to come back and then just pick up the tab after the heat's gone. They live off their millions that they've made, and then have a 2-year holiday, and then come back bigger and better than ever. And everybody has got the memory of a goldfish and go, oh, he's back, excellent. He was in a bit of trouble back there. I can't remember what it was about, and we're just as guilty of it as anybody else, because I can't remember the exact details, although at one stage of the game I had heard. I think the girl was underaged, and I don't know exactly as to how far into it all went, but yeah, it was definitely inappropriate, and he got pulled very quickly. And good on the studio for doing that. But it's all, society is a fluid thing. It really is.
I'd like to think that people who do the wrong thing are held accountable. I'd like to think that they would be educate themselves and think about, well, hang on, what have I done wrong and why has this affected? But then, like you say, a lot of people wouldn't change. They just go, I'll just do my time and then go back to what I was doing and make my money. And
yeah,
which is a bit sad.
Again, that's why I look at it and go, oh well, what did they actually do to try and not necessarily appease the masses? Although I'm sure if you're cynical enough that a lot of people do, if you genuinely change as a person and you try and
do the right thing,
assuage the hurt that you've caused people, then sure, people make mistakes. That's why we have a prison system. That's why people get out of prison. They don't get locked away forever.
No, that's the idea of prison. Yes,
you pay a penance, and look, I'm sure it's a punishment of sorts, but the punishment that somebody with that amount of privilege has compared to somebody who's got the arse out of the jeans and has got done and is being put away for 15 years for, sticking up a grocery store, the two people may have essentially caused the same amount of hurt on the cosmic scale, but one guy who's poor gets put away for 15 years and the other guy goes on a 2-year holiday and, comes back and everything's fine, and this is an unjust part of our society, but it's a very real part of our society. Anyway, well, gee, that was a bit of a rabbit hole.
I was about to say, climb back out.
Oh, no, it's fine. Look, this is why we do the podcast. The movies are interesting, but they're also a launching pad for conversations that we like to have.
So you're a fan of Kevin Spacey, and you thought he did a good job in this film.
I did. I really did. And it just reminded me. I thought, oh, you silly twit. But he was more than being a silly twit. What he did was fairly heinous, apparently. So, yeah, I was disappointed to see him gone because I think he's a massive talent. But yeah, that's my feeling on it. He'll just have to sit there and it's up to him how he wants to make good on all of what's going to happen to him because he's a rich man, so he doesn't get charged like a poor man would.
That's really depressing. Thanks, Paul.
That's what I do. Sorry,
okay.
everybody. But look, it's a twirly one. It's just how society's going, sort of thing. And the world's not fair.
I know.
The world is not fair, and all we can do is fight the good fight and try and make it a little bit fairer.